Hey, what's up guys? What's up YouTube? Welcome back, or welcome. This is your first visit to this channel. My name is Matt Samulski. I'm Matt the Car Guy, and on this channel I do car reviews. This is a 2022 Kia Sportage SX Turbo, and I'm back here at Gettle Kia of Bradenton, Florida, where they allowed me to film yet another one of their vehicles. So today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, jump inside of it, play with some cool and interesting features in this vehicle, and then finally I'm going to take it for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. Well guys, before we dive into this vehicle, can you believe it's been 27 years since Kia Sportage was first introduced? 1995 was the first model year for Kia Sportage, and they actually had the convertible Sportages as well, if you remember those. And you know what, I was working in 1997 for Honda, and when people came in and say, hey, we're shopping the CR-V versus Sportage, truly it wasn't much of a competition at all. Now it's changed dramatically since then. Now Kia is one of the top selling vehicles in the United States, and you know, there is a reason for it. I mean, they came up such a long way from when the first generation was introduced till now. So we're going to dive into this one. Now this one has been around since 2015 with a little bit of a refresh somewhere in the middle there, and I thought it was going to be redesigned for 2022, but it looks like Kia is holding off on that for 2023. So I'm curious what they're gonna improve for the 2023 over 2022, because I had a chance to take a quick glance at this vehicle, got inside of it, and I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed with it. So let's take a look at the front end of this vehicle. First of all, you can see this nice visible, very bright lights. Now these are fully LED lights. It also has the full LED turn signals that are built in here. What's also pretty cool, it's got 4 fog lights on each side, so it's actually 1 fog light but in 4 pieces, so that gives you that additional light signature. So if somebody's following you and you see that 4 lights in it, it's either a Porsche or a Kia, one of the two, right? It's not very difficult to recognize either one of them. But what else is here? Now the hood itself, it is a pretty short hood. It's not a big engine, but it's nicely sculpted. It's got those 2 very visible body lines on both sides, and what's different about this versus other cars, most of the hoods go this way. Okay, this hood is more of an indented in here. I guess it's got a lot to do with the aerodynamics. Another thing I want to point out is this Kia logo. Now this is the old Kia logo, and I thought that 2022 is going to be the year where they're actually going to put the new Kia logo on all of their models, but I guess they're waiting for the redesign. And what else do you see here? You see this nice grill. Now this grill, and you'd have to get up close in here to see it. Actually, it's got 2 colors. It's got this piano black, this shiny black, and it does have this smoked chrome look right around it. The same smoked chrome goes right here in between those fog lights right here, and then you have the piano black, and at the bottom here you have a little bit of that skid plate. Now this is a plastic skid plate, so it's fake, it doesn't have a function on it, but it looks pretty cool. It definitely adds to the design of this vehicle. Now this year's Kia is available with 2 engine choices, and we're going to take a look at what's underneath here now. Okay, so let's check out what powers up this thing. So first of all, I got to complain about this prop stack. It shouldn't even happen. I'm not even going to comment any further on that. Should be hydraulic hood struts. Now, so what you can see is turbo GDI, and to be exact, it is a turbocharged engine, a 2.0 liter engine that produces 240 horsepower, about 260 pound-feet of torque. So it sounds very appealing, sounds very cool, especially that most of the competition is about 50 horsepower below that, including the lower end trim levels for this one. Now the regular 2.4 liter engine that you can find in the EX and below, that one is a 2.4 liter non-turbo engine, 181 horsepower, so about 60 horsepower less than this one. They're both mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and they're both available in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So I'm really excited to take this one for a spin because it seems like it's going to be screaming. Well, all right, so let's take a look at the side profile of this 2022 Kia Sportage. I don't think there's anything too crazy about it. It's nice, it's polished, it's good looking, but it's not overly sporty, it's not overly rugged. Now they dressed it up, this SX model, in a little bit of bling, a little bit of chrome. That includes this bottom trim right here at the bottom of the doors, that includes the top of the door handles, as well as includes the satin around the windows. So 3 different sheens of silver, or kind of smoky silver color. What else you see? You see this matte black trim that goes all the way from the front bumper at the bottom of the vehicle, continues all the way to the back bumper. And you'll see a lot of manufacturers do that kind of to break up that one color vehicle. This one also has the 19-inch wheels. Now this is the SX model, so the lower trim's gonna have the 17-inch rims. As far as the mirrors, top of the mirror is the same color as the rest of the vehicle. It does have that glossy black bottom, and it does have the LED light turn signal. It is also equipped with the keyless entry, so you don't have to press any buttons on the key. Basically all you have to do is press the button on the door handle to lock or unlock the vehicle. And you might not see it from where the camera sits, but there is also, the whole roof is black. Now part of it is because it does have the panoramic sunroof, and part of it is because it does have this side rails, the roof rails, that are black, and the rest of the top, the rest of the roof is simply painted in glossy black color. So it actually wears it really nice, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up on it now. So let's check out the back portion of this vehicle. Okay, so let's check out the back portion of this vehicle. So you can see it does have this nice LED lights. I have them on for a reason, because normally it'd be looking, hey, these are the regular lights, brake lights, and the turn signals all in one. Now, not in this car. You see the turn signals are right at the bottom of here, as well as the reverse lights are right next to it. Now you also have the reflector lights at the bottom. You have the brake light right here, the light strip in between the 2 lights. There's a lot of stuff going on in the back here. You have this big like a tailgate spoiler, and normally on the newer Kias you see that's where the wiper would be. Now this one still has it at the bottom. Maybe it's coming with the new redesign, that they're gonna move it up and kind of redesign the whole thing. You have a Sportage on the left hand side. You have the SXT GDI. That's the type of the engine. You know it's an SX with the turbo engine. At the bottom in here, so I want to point out a couple things. This is the shiny piano black. This is that smoked chrome. This is matte black, and this is aluminum. So there's a lot of different sheens, not necessarily textures, but sheens going on in here. You also have 2 exhaust tips, and this is a functional exhaust. This is not for decoration only. As well as you can see this skid play slash air diffuser that is down at the bottom here. Now the way to open the gate, you can open it up with the key. By the way, while we're talking about the key, this is the new type of Kia key. We've seen it in other models before. The buttons are right on the side here, and you can open the gate with the key. You can open it from the inside, or you can open it like I just did in here. So how much room is there in this vehicle? Let's check it out. All right, so as you can see, there's quite a bit of room in here, and this one has this nice cargo tray in the back. cargo cover as well that you can extend and lock into position so people don't peek and see what you have inside of here. Now the seats fold down. It's a 60-40 split, and you know, you have to unlock it. Do they have the buttons here to unlock it? They do not. Okay, so one other complaint that I would have is you can't really fold those seats from the back. You actually have to get inside and fold them from the front. But as far as the roominess, there's quite a bit of it in here. And underneath here you have a spare tire, which is great. And like with mini Kias, you can actually lower that floor. So you can put this tray, top tray, into this bottom here. So you can add this much of room to your floor in this Kia if you lowered this cover. Well, this is it. This is the back portion of it. Let's see if we can fit. Well, so the important part as far as the small SUVs would be how much room you have in the back. And well, this is not the most spacious one. There's certainly quite a bit of room on the inside. I gotta tell you, the seat is reclined all the way back, and this is probably not even my favorite driving position. So let's see. Oh, there you go. Now this is better. So the seats actually recline if you like a more relaxed style of seats, but plenty of headroom, good shoulder room. Seats are fairly comfortable. The interior is actually nice on this SX trim, and this is exclusive to the SX trim, the beige two-tone interior. So why don't you check it out with me? Well, let's start with the door. I mean, so you have this nicely trimmed two-tone door. You have the beige and black. You have a little bit of this piano black. You have a speaker on the door, a little bit of a storage, nothing crazy. But let's take a look at this interior right here. Now I like this. This kind of reminds me of these old Range Rovers. They had the two-tone interiors, and you can see the bottom of the seats as well as just this portion right here is black. The rest of it is beige. Now the seats adjust, so there's an adjustment for the seat that you can move it back. It also has 3 seat belts in the back. The third seat, it's not probably the most comfortable, but you know, you can use this as your cup holder. There you go. Now it has some of the nuts in the back of the seats. And what else you have? You have a little bit of the, well, you have the vents for your AC and heating, and then you have the USB and the 12-volt outlet right at the bottom. This is it. This is what you get. One other thing I want to point out. First of all, you have the Sportage logo right on the door sill. This smoked chrome trim right here. This is completely different color than you see on any other Kias. And it actually looks pretty cool, especially with that beige interior combination. All right, really quick, let's take a look at the front door right here. Again, two-tone design, piano black trim right here. You have the window controls, mirror controls, basically lock and unlock feature. Aluminum looking door handle. You have this speaker right here and the one in the bottom. Now this one is equipped with the Harman Kardon stereo, so that's the higher end stereo in here. And let's check out the rest of it. Now I really do dig these seats. What do you think about them? I really like the design of them. And let's take a look on the left hand side of the steering wheel. So you have your brightness right here, lane keep assist. This is your blind spot, this is your lane keep assist, and this is where you open your gate. Check out. All right, let's check out the interior of this 2022 Sportage. So typical Kia steering wheel, multifunction steering wheel, old Kia logo still right here. You have the SX. Now we're in the sporty one, so you can see that the steering wheel is flat at the bottom, nicely wrapped in leather, very comfortable, very nice to the touch. It even have your palm supports in here. In the back you have the pedal shifters on both sides, so this is a nice feature, especially for a sportier SUV. Now you see the modes in here. This is basically for your media right here. You have the mode, you have the phone buttons in here. Now on this side, this is pretty much self-explanatory. These are the pages for the middle of the screen, which we're going to take a look next. The rest of it is basically your cruise control and the adaptive cruise control. So this is where you set the distance between you and the car in front of you. This is when you turn the cruise control off, and this is your main cruise control button right here. Instrument cluster. So let's talk about this because this is an old school instrument cluster. It does have a screen in the middle, and you can see I'm going through some of the options in here. Somewhat limited menu, but still very functional. So you have a compass here, you have lane keep assist. These are the user settings, which you can actually go through: driver assistance, door lights, convenience, service intervals, other, reset, etc., etc., and go to electronic stability control off, and the traction control off, and then you can leave it on. This is the default function. You have your speed right here, and then we can go to the different trips. And then what else you have? You have your compass, lane keep assist, and back to the settings. Left hand side is your tachometer, right hand side is your speedometer. You also have your temperature gauge and the fuel gauge in the main instrument cluster, and this is it. Now we'll move on to the right of it, and this is, again, this is the smaller screen. I believe it's an 8-inch screen. So a lot of the newer cars, you have the 10, 12-inch screens, which are much bigger, brighter, newer design. I think that's coming for 2023, but this one has got the same infotainment system basically as the other one, and it is touchscreen. So you push, let's say, the map, and it opens it up in the entire screen, right? And then you can go through the menu system on the map. Now if you ever get lost in here, where is your home button? Because this is what I always try to find first on this. So, well, your home button is right here. If you go back to the main menu, I don't see it anywhere else on the button, but we'll get to it. So what do you have? You have all menus, phone, my menu. So all menus, and here it brings you up the standard Kia menu. Navigation, phone projection, which does have approved USB cable, so it does have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but only wired, not wireless. Voice memo, climate, data services, setup, radio, sounds of nature, even has that. UVO, which is a pretty cool feature. For those of you that don't know it, I suggest you do a little bit of research on. A lot of manufacturers have their own version of their connectivity system, and UVO is the Kia one. Basically, you can see what's going on with your car. You can start the car, you can unlock the car, you can find your car, you can set your temperature in your vehicle. So there's a lot of pretty cool functions. I'm not sure what the subscription run, but they're available for yearly subscription fee, of course. So quick guide, you know, if you don't know how to use something on the car, here's your quick guide. You don't have to you know, try to find the owner's manual in your nightstand where you put them 3 years ago. You can just go in here and basically check it out. So this is it. This is your infotainment system right here. The rest of it, again, you might call it old school, but it's you know, it's very functional, I gotta tell you. So first of all, Harman Kardon, this is the brand of the stereo. Here's your volume knob. There's your shortcut buttons right here for the radio. Your shortcuts basically for the climate control. And at the bottom here, you can see this vehicle is equipped with the heated and ventilated seats, as well as the heated steering wheel, and that's where you control all of that. Moving down from here, you have the USB, as well as you have two 12-volt adapters. So you cannot even charge one phone, you can charge two phones. And here is a space where you can put your phone for wireless charging. Regular shifter, nicely wrapped in leather. I actually like this shifter a lot, very comfortable. And you can actually, this is strange, because you can either do it, shift it here, or you can shift it on the pedal shifters. I haven't seen both functions on it, but that's interesting. Cup holders, and then a few other buttons in here. This is your drive modes. You have normal, eco, and sport drive mode, and they really don't do anything to the instrument cluster, so I'm not even gonna go in here. Now you have the downhill brake control. You can turn it on or off. You have the parking sensors, and then you have the auto hold on or off button. That's for your brakes, where you don't have to have your foot on the brake, basically. If you're standing on the stoplight, you press the brake, and auto hold is going to appear on your dash right here, 76 degrees, and right next to it you can see auto hold. Okay, and basically you can let go of your brake and the car will not roll. Electronic parking brake right here, and then you have a little bit of more storage compartment. Okay, moving up top of the dashboard. Okay, this is this soft injection plastic, basically. Speaker in the middle, speakers on the doors. We'll move up in here, so you have your light controls. Where's your UVO? This is on your mirror right here. Now, does this have the camera mirror? It doesn't, but I'm sure the next generation will have it. So you have the let's see, we'll close it up. You have the UVO, you have the emergency, you have the power, and then you have 3 home link buttons right here. And here's what interesting thing, most of the cars have it. Fuel is low. Would you like to search for nearby gas stations? So we can check out how this navigation works. There you go. There's Sunoco, 0.3 miles away, Speedway, Marathon, and another thing that I want to point out is your sunroof. This is the panoramic sunroof. Look how big it is. Opens up. Lots of room, lots of air inside of it. Big windscreen. And here, let's close it up, and we're gonna take it for a spin. Are you guys ready? Because I certainly am. I'm curious of how this vehicle is going to handle. But before we do that, really quickly, let's check out the different packages, different trim options. So it starts with the LX model, and the LX is the base model. It's got the base engine, the 2.4 liter engine. As a matter of fact, any of the other trim levels are going to have the base engine, 181 horsepower, 2.4 liter engine versus 260 horsepower, 2.0 turbocharged engine on this one. So 24,090 is the starting price on the LX. 28,090 is the next model up, is the Nightfall edition. EX is 28,390, and SX Turbo, which is this one right here, starting at 33,750. Now, $1,500 for an all-wheel drive. If you added that, that's across the trims. That's about the difference in the price, and the difference in performance. Well, let's see if it's priceless. We're gonna start with checking out the rear view camera, because I haven't really checked this out. So it's not as clear as some of the newer ones, but keep in mind that this design's been around since 2015, but that should have been upgraded, maybe a software update, maybe a new camera in the back. And it's not a 360, okay? It does have the trajectory lines. So on this trim level, I think the 360 should be standard and should have nicer quality. So this is your rear view camera. Now I'm going to check out of how this vehicle turns. How many parking spots? Okay, steering wheel all the way, and off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parking spots right there, pretty tight. Very much the same as a lot of the vehicles in its class. I like the steering wheel. I like the feel of the steering wheel. I like how precise it is. I'm gonna flip it into the sports mode, because it is a sporty vehicle. Okay. So it gets up to speed really nicely. Now I tested the same engine basically as they have in the Kia Soul Turbo, and I thought that the Soul Turbo was a little bit more responsive than this. But let me give it another try in just a second here. And we'll see. Well, let's see, turning, cornering. Okay. So I think that suspension might have a little bit work to be done with Kia, because it's definitely not as nice as some of the newest generation, like the Sorrentos or the Tellurides. But it still feels decent. Let me see if I'm gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna give it one more go at the acceleration and see what it feels like. But overall, it's a decent feel for a vehicle. Now, I can't wait to see what Kia has in store for us for their 2023 model, for the new generation. But I gotta tell you, now this is the top of the line on the current model, and this one, as equipped, is about 33, plus there's a few options, factory options, that were added on it. So the sticker was about $35,000, just give or take a little bit. Now we looked at the RAV4, we looked at the Tucson, we looked at the Mazda, and they were all in like $38,000 range. And quite frankly, I don't know if it had the same equipment or similar equipment than this one has. So if you're looking for a vehicle, a small SUV, this is very nice. It might feel a little bit outdated, but it certainly can still keep up with the competition. So I will give this vehicle a thumbs up after I check the acceleration one more time. Okay, so almost stop, and then let's hit it. Okay, there's still something missing. I thought that the Soul with the same engine, maybe I'm crazy, but I thought it had a little bit nicer and better acceleration, a little bit crispier shift. Maybe it's a different transmission or something, but it definitely makes a difference. It's not bad though. I think that there's still a little bit of work to be done with it. I'll still give it a thumbs up. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my thoughts. If you're a subscriber, thank you for being one. And if you're not, consider subscribing to my channel. I post twice a week, and I talk about totally different cars. It could be anywhere from, a 1973 Fiat to the newest generation Mercedes-Benz. So if that's what you're interested in, check out the rest of this channel, consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.